I know what Helen's going on in Helen's farm. It's very exciting, guys.
Is it?
Oh, it's like a soap going on over there. But let's start this show, shall we? Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Born ready.
Helen, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
I need to leave early today, by the way.
You need to leave early. Why?
Because I'm going to Scotland, Portugal.
Oh, excellent. How are you getting up there? Train?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. What time are you leaving?
Well, my train's at 12:30, so probably about 11:30.
Okay. Cool.
Quite early.
But I need time to get a sandwich.
That is early.
Crack on then, haven't we?
What, and a magazine? Do you get a magazine still?
Yeah, Radio Times.
All right. Well, that's good. Let's all rush through it so Robbie can go off and watch Scotland play. All right. Ready, guys? Let's go.
This episode is proudly sponsored by BP Me Rewards.
Welcome to the world's #1 podcast, Soccer A to Z. We are the AZ. We are the People's Podcast. We are saving football. We are helping society. We are your new family.
Can you hurry up? He's got a train to catch.
Yeah. This week, who gives an F? We do, as F is our featured letter. As you know, it is a squad game. Today's team, we've got the First Lady of Football. She's zooming in from her farm. It's Helen Chamberlain.
Hello.
Hello, Helen.
Robbie is here.
Hello.
He's leaving early.
Yeah, he's leaving early, though. Joe is here.
Hello.
Here's Tubes.
Hi.
And I'm here too. Lovejoy.
Hi, Tim.
Right, shall we get an update from Helen's... I loved it. It's like a soap, isn't it, when you tune into Helen's farm. You
What's
find out
happening in the yard?
And I tell you what, it's like everything's happening there this week. Go on, Helen, what's happening?
Did I hear you say just now that I had exciting news?
Oh, yeah.
Holding.
Well, it's a drama. I'm not sure. Yeah, exciting. Maybe the wrong choice of words. Apologies.
You said exciting. All right. So, I spoke to Tim earlier in the week and he said, how's it? And I said, no, it's a bit grim. A daytime fox. You always fear the daytime fox. If the fox is at night, it's fine.
Yeah. Why'd you fear the daytime ones more?
Yeah.
Because they snatch the chickens while they're out.
Oh, let her finish her story. Go on. So what's happened?
Okay. I found the head of a chicken in the field and the body of another chicken in front of the stables. The daytime fox struck.
Could you just put the head of that chicken on the body of the other one?
Also, Tim, that's not exciting news.
Oh, it's not exciting news at all. I heard him say it.
It's exciting for the fox.
Is the fox the enemy of the fox? Do we hate foxes? Because I don't mind a fox. What do you hate foxes, Helen?
I don't hate foxes. I like foxes. Foxes because they're a bit like dogs, and dogs are ace. But I hate what they do because, as everybody knows, if they manage to get into your chicken house, if they just took one because they have to eat, you'd go, okay, but they kill everything. They'll kill 100 chickens, but because in the fox's brain, they kill them all because then that's their food for the next 100 days. They don't realise that you're going to come out and
They haven't got a fridge,
sweep up all the bodies.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. They'll eat manky chicken. So, yeah, a daytime fox is a real problem. But
do you think this fox will ever be brought to justice?
The fox will probably be brought to justice on the end of the gamekeeper's gun.
Oh.
That's animal justice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
I don't support the death penalty, even with animals.
No, there is light and shade, though, on the farm. So tell us that was the shade. Tell us about the light, Helen.
A lamb was born.
Yeah. Oh! Hey, but hold on. It's not spring, it's autumn. You can't have lambs being born in autumn, can you?
That's for commercial reasons.
It's woke nonsense.
The phrase goes, you put your tups in on bonfire night for April the 1st lambs. Because if you think about it, spring, everything's warming up. The spring grass is coming through, so you don't have to hard feed your sheep, and then they're all about the same age, and so they go off for your dinner. So, but mine just all free range together. So
what did you do? Taps? What's a
taps? I obviously know what a tap
it's a tap.
is, but for these guys who don't know, can you just explain it, Helen?
No, let's get Robbie to explain.
No.
Yeah. Go on, Robbie. Yeah.
Oh, it's the
The stud,
Oh, it's
isn't
a
it?
bit
Yeah.
smutty. Yeah.
What is it? What's the top?
No, it's just your young ram. A young ram
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
tup.
Helen,
Yeah.
did you have a man lamb or a woman lamb?
Oh, I had. This one is a man lamb.
Man lamb.
So I've already banded his balls because I don't need any more men.
What did you call him?
Banded his balls.
Alum lamb.
Yeah, banded his balls.
What do you mean banded his balls? Like put
I
a rubber band round it
literally-
so they fall off.
Yep.
Ooh, cool.
Oh.
Not sure about that.
Yeah.
I think Helen should be on the end of the gun.
I think I'd rather be the chicken.
Can I just say the gamekeeper shooting the fox won't be anything to do with me. There is a pheasant shoot further down the fields to me, and so the gamekeeper will probably take care of that fox. It's nothing to do with me.
Can we ask our listeners to name your lamb? Will you accept that, Helen?
Yeah, they can. I'm not going to register him because this year is L. There's a letter every year that corresponds with
Larry.
your registered.
Larry Lamb, yeah.
Yeah, no. But because he's not being registered, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be an L.
Okay. Well, good news. I think we'll also. It's quite exciting, that wasn't it? Even though you're saying it's the wrong choice of vocabulary,
Yeah.
it was quite exciting, wasn't it? We had death. We had.
We had the whole gamut
Life.
of emotions.
life.
didn't we?
Yeah, I found it exciting. I'll be honest.
And we had
Yeah.
mutilation. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
we had it all there.
all the good stuff.
Action packed.
Let's move on now. Please remember, there's a quick warning before we talk to Robbie. Robbie is an influencer this week. He influenced me to take testosterone supplements and drink cider, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Be careful not to be influenced. Robbie, what have you been up to this week?
I went to watch an even better influencer in the art of influence in action. I went to see Max Fosh, who's
Okay.
a YouTuber.
He came
his
on
live show.
He came on Sunday Brunch, talked
did.
about that. What was his live show like?
It was very good. Yeah,
Was it? Okay.
really enjoyable. A sort of mix of sort of stand up and videos and stuff like that. My kids, it's the one thing that I think makes me cool in my kids' eyes is that they all watch Max's videos. They got to meet him beforehand and all that. They were quite excited.
Max does videos like who would eat hot dogs quickest, a human or what did he?
A bear. He had a hot
bear,
dog
that
eating
was
contest with a bear. He decided he cooked a Iceland microwave curry in a volcano in
Yeah.
Iceland.
He entered the world's strongest man competition, and he's really not that strong.
A YouTuber's job is to think of a title, isn't it?
Good.
Oh, it's title and thumbnail. It's all
Title and
Easy.
thumbnail, and then fill it in.
Yeah.
Could I survive being beaten up by an six SAS guys, and then
Yeah.
you find six SAS?
Well,
guys?
he did. He did a video of getting the SAS to help him beat his friends at paintball.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was really
Yeah.
good. But it lasted about 30 seconds each round, didn't it?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
It turns out the SAS are quite good at fighting.
They are. Yeah, they're very good.
What about addressing the elephant in the room? And he just stayed with an elephant in the room, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was. I like that.
Oh.
He's good. He's really good, Max.
What's Sunday brunch?
Don't know him.
Sunday brunch.
Program
Sunday
he does.
brunch. Yes,
Hypnotists, influencers, because
because
because they influence you to eat an onion
True.
and think it's an
True,
apple, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get inside your head.
Have you
don't they?
have you ever been hypnotized?
No, I'm not
Have
sure I'd
you?
want to.
Has anyone here been hypnotized?
No.
No, I wouldn't want to do
No.
No, I've sat on the stage where they get you to do the funny things, but I never went under. I don't know how you go under. What they're looking for.
Yeah.
Someone did it at happy hour with Jack and Stevie, and Stevie probably got hypnotized.
Did he?
that. Really?
Yeah.
What did they get him to do?
He made him forget his name. He
Right.
was literally said it was really weird. You're just sitting there going, right, what's your name? And he's just
What
Can't-
goes on inside your bonds to make you do that?
Maybe I've been hypnotised. I can't remember anything.
yeah, I can't relate. Yeah.
Tubes, what have you been up to this week?
Myself and Amy revealed what sex baby we're having, a boy or a girl. but
Amy's your partner, by the
Amy
way.
is my partner, so that's going to be revealed this week.
Oh, well, you're not telling us?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, how are you revealing it?
Oh.
Social media and that.
Content, innit?
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah. So,
Gift.
yeah.
By having a child, you're having the gift of life and also the gift of content.
Yeah, clickbait.
Can our viewers name your baby?
Is that what you're going to call the baby?
Yeah.
Clickbait.
Click Dale.
Content Dale.
Yeah.
So we find out whether we're having a man baby or a woman baby.
Yeah. This week, also filming with Steve Sidwell, who I absolutely love, and I think is one of the best pundits out there. Steve Sidwell is superb, and then Jimmy is filming with Iona Stephen, who's a legend.
Where's he?
Met her, she's really nice.
Who is she?
Great, isn't she?
Who is
Yeah,
she?
she's a
Without
golf
me being rude.
commentator.
Oh yeah.
Sky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Really funny.
She's so cool.
So, where does Steve Sidwell do his punditry then? Because he hasn't got a regular gig,
He
has he?
hasn't got a regular gig.
No.
But he really, really should do. 'Cause
Right.
He's absolutely superb.
He does a bit.
He does a bit.
Yeah.
He does a bit.
but-
He's on Crouch's podcast, isn't he? He's a regular on Crouch's podcast.
Yeah.
So he's doing lots of stuff. I think he's great at punditry. When you actually get him talking about football, I think he's superb.
Good. Joe, what you been up to?
Nothing as exciting as revealing the sex of a baby, but I've been trying to teach a teenager to drive.
Why?
Your own
'Cause
wife?
he needs to drive.
Yeah, but you can employ people to do that for you.
Oh yeah, there will be someone employed along the way, but I'm just showing him the basics, aren't I? Like,
Yeah, just getting the bad habits in early.
yeah.
Are you so laid back doing that though? Just like,
No, not
oh,
really.
don't
It gets
know?
quite fraught. He's got a short fuse. And it does get quite testy,
Yeah.
shall we say.
10 to 2. Do you hold the
10
steering wheel? Is it still 10
He
to 2?
crosses his hands on the wheel.
No,
so
you're
don't
not
do
allowed to
that.
do
Yeah,
that.
you're not allowed to do that.
Keep checking the
Keep-
mirror.
Always keep checking your mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sat through the worst game of football I've ever sat through this week.
What was
Wow.
it? What was it?
Nations League.
Yeah.
What is the Nations League?
I don't know, but I'm going later.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, to be honest, but it was awful.
What?
Bulgaria against Luxembourg.
How are we in Division B when there's like 16 teams in Division A? How are we in Division B?
Do you know what it's like? It's like is it the Davis Cup
What
in
you-
tennis?
What are you in? Are you in League A or League B?
We're playing good teams now, so I think we're doing well.
How are you in
You must
League
be
A?
in-
Because
And-
we did well. That's how we got
England.
into. Because it just goes on in the background, and then we got into the playoffs for a tournament because of it. And then I think because we did that, it's backfired. Now we get pumped every time we play.
I don't know. Does anyone know how it
I have
works?
no idea
No.
what it is.
Helen, do you know how it works?
No idea. No.
It's like the Davis Cup in tennis that you don't know anything about it, and then suddenly it's like we're in the final.
Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah.
Yeah, I saw last week we're in the America's Cup final. Really? Didn't even know it was on.
I think we should get. I think we should get into League C. Is there League C in it? And then we could
Yeah, yeah.
we could start winning 10-0, 12, like cup football or
Absolutely.
kids football.
Just
Joe,
a quick
I'm gonna
question.
do some
Seasoned pro
research.
like you, Joe. How are you getting games like Luxembourg? How does it get drawn out of the hat?
There's so many games that they just all get divvied up, you know.
So- what
but this
the
was a
game?
real
Luxembourg.
Bulgaria v Luxembourg.
What
it
was
was
the score?
0-0.
0-0.
But
Um,
like the final whistle, the commentator put the mic down and came across the talkback. He said, "That's the worst game of football I've ever seen." And he wasn't wrong. I've been in
There
counselling.
couldn't be a better person for it though. You.
I had to dig deep. I'm
I'm going to go away this week, and I'm going to find out how the Nations League works.
Yeah.
I'll report back next
All right.
week.
Thank you, Robbie.
Do a video on it.
Actually,
Do one
I
of
think
your
I'm here
videos.
next week after.
Do you know what I did this week? You should do this. You on one of your channels. You two. I went to RumFest and
Probably not me then.
no, not Tubes. If you don't know,
We did it for like 6 years.
Tubes has given up the alcohol. RumFest is good. Everyone was just smiling. I loved it. Do you know what it reminded me of? Like I didn't. It was on a Saturday.
My channel.
He's back on.
Yeah, apologies for that, Tubes. It reminded me of.
We had a heart attack fest too.
Tubes also had a heart attack. Robbie's finding that really funny.
Me too.
And those Tubes. No, RumFest. It's really good. It's just a load of people. Just drink. I wasn't drinking. It was a Saturday, and I had the show the next day.
Why'd you go to RumFest?
Because I know the guy who runs it, Ian Bowell,
Okay.
nice bloke. So I wanted to go
RumFest.
down and see him, and it's just that everybody's smiling, and I just thought it's
Is
lovely.
it about the drink rum? Was everyone a bit rum?
It's about the drink rum. It's very good. They turn the heating up though, a bit like
Oh.
the studio, like 100.
So you think you're in
Yeah,
Barbados or
yeah,
something?
yeah, they do, and it's like
Yeah.
sweaty in there. It's quite good. Do you know what it reminded me of? Is Harry Potter world. No interest in Harry Potter, but I took my kids there, and everybody was smiling. I didn't get it at all. I've never watched Harry Potter. It's just a lot. Have you been to Potter World?
No.
On the website for Potterworld, it does say a bit like RumFest.
Potter World. There's just a lot of looking.
I've
What-
been to Harry Potter World.
It's just a lot of
It's near
looking. isn't it?
Watford.
Yeah, just a lot of looking, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like
And
I
the
didn't
thing is,
really
what
know
they're
it was
looking
about,
at is
really.
stuff which has been made by other humans. It's not like real stuff. It's not like a museum where you go, oh, that was made by the Incas or something. It's just like someone's made it in a props cupboard and they go, look at that. It's the so-and-so jewel of the something a little whatever. And it's like,
But it's not really aimed at grown-ups. It's for the kids.
I know,
isn't it?
yeah.
What,
it-
RumFest?
And they enter.
Anyway, on Sunday Brunch, Joe, which is a show I do on Sunday, very good,
Right.
very entertaining. We had Paul Heaton,
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, brilliant, man.
I love Paul Heaton.
Ian Brody,
Oh, another brilliant
What a
man.
lineup.
Yeah, I love him.
James
Bro.
Blunt,
Yeah.
and
like
James.
him.
Yeah,
he's good.
he's
He's
very
funny.
good. They're all
Funny,
very
innit?
good.
Funny.
I walked into James
Yeah.
Blunt's dressing room in the morning, and his son was there, and I said, "Who do you support?" And his son went, "James Blunt." And I said, "No, what football team do you support?" And he said, "Ipswich." And I'm
Ooh.
like, "Why do you support Ipswich?" Because Blunt's got, as you know, James Blunt's got a pub right next to Stamford Bridge. Do you know this?
Yeah.
No.
It's the Fox and Pheasant, right? It's just around the corner from the Black Ball, and it's this pub he owns there. But his kid doesn't support Chelsea; he supports Ipswich because Ed Sheeran
Mm.
sends out all the kids of the celebrities Ipswich shirts, so he's getting them all supported.
He's buying their support.
He is, yeah.
Oh.
We should get Ed Sheeran on the show. I reckon he'd do it because he loves Ipswich. And if
I
it was,
love Ed Sheeran on the show.
he's a really nice bloke, really lovely fella. We should get him on.
You met him, yeah?
Loads, yeah. Interviewed him a load of times.
Oh, right.
He's just a really great. He's a genuinely nice bloke. Though.
Oh, let's
He
get him
really
on.
is,
He hasn't
yeah.
got a mobile phone, has he?
That's what he said. I'm not sure if I believe that.
I'm so jealous of people without mobile phones.
You
could-
really do rub shoulders with the stars, don't you?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
one of
I
his
do,
shows.
yeah.
There's a show on Sunday called Sunday Brunch.
Do it, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What we do is we book celebrities. It's very good, Joe. You should give it a go.
Looks
We-
confused.
Do you know what? We've had a bit of dissent in the family.
Have we?
Yeah, because we are one big family with our listeners. But Sam TQ4T said diving. Do you remember last week we did a poll? And 90% of our listeners said that there should be retrospective bans for people diving, especially when they roll around
10-match
holding
ban.
their faces. Yeah. What did we decide?
Yeah.
10
10-match ban,
10
yeah.
match ban and give a month's
Throw the book at him.
a month's salary to children's charities.
Yeah.
Pig rescue.
Or pig rescue. I'm still going children's charities. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Helen. I can't. Anyway, Sam TQ4T says diving. It's an art, and this whole thing about it being cheating is nonsense.
Woke nonsense.
A top defender never commits, so doesn't give a player an opportunity to dive, hang a leg, etc., and then expect trouble. What do we think of that? I think it's
Not
no.
having it.
Tubes.
Not having it at all.
10 much ban.
20 now. That's maybe so angry. I'm going to say 20.
I think he's right in the fact that it is becoming an art.
it's
Yeah,
art,
because
yeah.
they do hang a leg and all that. They know what they're doing. They're looking for it. They're trying to work the ref, aren't they?
So
Give him a decision to make.
Yeah, but that's not fair on the ref. And then the managers have a go at the ref.
Yeah, but football's not fair, is it? We all know that.
Is the phrase that annoys me more than anything else coming from pundits and commentators is he's entitled to go down
Yeah.
there. I hate that.
He bought a foul. He won a foul.
Yeah.
All that sort of
Entitled
all that
to go down.
language.
No,
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Yeah, because the people
Cheap.
paying the wages are the fans, so you're cheating the fans, right? And we're paying the wages, whether you've got your Sky or BT TNT subscription, or you're actually going to the games. You're paying, No,
But say, for example, one of your players wins a penalty by doing that. How would you feel about that?
rubbish. I just don't. I'm just not one of those people. I suppose you make your choice in life. I just don't like cheating at all. I was playing a dodgeball game once, and the bloke cheated. I hit him, and then he didn't walk, and then I just I just walked off the pitch and never went back. I was
Were
like,
you
I
at
can't-
school?
No, this is
You were
about
playing dodgeball as an adult?
yeah.
Would you let that go, yeah?
I entered a dodgeball league. I called myself Chicago Balls, BALLS. We were very good. We used to win the league all the time.
I'm just going to say, at Soccer AM, if Neil Smythe had done that, you would not have let him forget it for a year.
Well,
This is
You'd have hammered
And
it.
that's-
Oh, that would have been everywhere.
on air.
You would have made
and
an item
We would
on
still be
the
talking
show.
about it now.
Yeah.
and you would have joined in. Right, lots of questions coming in from our readers. Drone Deck says, what rule in football would you abolish? Ed says, what was the best post-show drink up, and who did it involve, and is it true that Chris Evans used to turn up for them? Get your questions in. We will answer both of those questions on our Friday edition of the Q&Q, questions and quiz. Right, F's from our listeners. Helen.
Yep, fans F's this week. Matt Hawkins says, hey, food. How much better is food at grounds now? True. Pete just says Fabrizio Ravanelli. Robbie Robb says forces. And Anne says, thank you for keeping us all entertained when deployed, a lifeline to normality. Tim, do you remember why you started doing a nod to the forces every week?
I think the reason why was they were starting to get a bit of a bad press out there. You know, people there was a lot of controversy with stuff. Oh, you don't agree with this?
Well, carry on.
And I remember us thinking, well, we should do something with the forces because they're out there representing us. Helen's got a different version of events.
Well, all it was is I remember you said, I'm going to say hello to the forces every single week because I'm getting really annoyed that Breakfast News only acknowledge them at Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's,
Yeah.
I like that. That's true.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it was true. They used to do a messages to home, didn't they, with tinsel around the screen and jingle bells and stuff. And you said, no, that really annoys me that once Christmas is over, forces are forgotten about. So I'm going to say hello to them every week. Here we go. Moving on. Kanga Pants says Faustino Asprilla.
Yeah, what a player.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a player.
Booting
Shall I
that
save some?
No, that was Ketspire, wasn't it? Ketspire, yeah.
Ketspire, booting the Hoardings. Shall I save some or do you want me to...
Keep going.
Do you want more? Reese Allen says fancy dress. Now, do people still go to the last game of the season dressed as Elvis?
The Smurfs as well, don't they? Is that Smurfs?
Yeah, I think
which
they
team
do.
does Smurfs? I can't remember which teams do it.
I was sort of associated with Southampton. You always see Southampton fans
Is
in
it?
fancy dress, don't you?
Aaron Ramsdale went to last year's playoff, didn't he? Or dressed in fancy dress watching Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap! What happened to football Christmas parties?
Oh,
Do you remember they used to?
Yeah.
And I used to always think, why do managers let them do it? It always ended up, and they were
Yeah.
fancy dress and all that sort of stuff. Do you remember years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Stephen Gerrard going as no AP. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't, but that's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. On a sort of little scooter thing.
Have you got any more, Helen? Before we get into our Fs?
I don't know where. I mean, this is an F, but I don't know, Tim, whether I need to give this back to you because Robert Hudson says financial fair play or
God.
woke nonsense.
What a woke nonsense.
So
woke nonsense.
Yeah.
I think that's one for you. Is woke
I think we should have
nonsense.
more
And-
financial unfair play.
Yeah, there was a definite change in the 90s, but probably around 93 with the Premier League, where you go to football and people start talking about budgets and things and salaries and all that sort of stuff. Before that, people just talked about whether a player was good or not, didn't they? So
Yeah.
Dale OUFC, see an Oxford fan, says, "Hey, football, not soccer."
Oh yeah, why
Oh.
on earth would anyone call it soccer? Rubbish.
We've always
AZ.
Yeah, never. I've got a couple here. Stephen Johnson says fantasy football. I don't play. Anyone here play fantasy football?
no.
it gets on
not
my
anymore.
nerves.
Used to.
I can't
Telegraph,
play 'cause I
years
don't,
Every couple of weeks before the season starts, everyone's like, "Join my fantasy league."
I don't want to support other teams' players.
don't get
really.
it.
Rob Gamble says Fowler. God, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Kieran says fixtures man. How is fixtures man, Robbie?
He's all right, yeah. I saw him the other day after his shift at home base.
And Mark Hatton bought Mark Hatton brought back some memories by saying fish head, fish head, fish head, fish head.
Do you know what?
Oi,
I
fish
never
head.
understood that.
Yeah.
You used to
please
do it
explain
every
to
week, and I just never understood it why you
Yeah,
did that.
What is
He
that?
came out with a
Kennedy
hat
did.
with a fish.
Yeah,
It was
a
that
blue
it?
and white
Yeah.
hat with a fish
Yeah.
head.
Yeah,
And
I
everyone used to go, "Oi, fish head."
And I
Oi,
go,
fish head.
and I'd look around and go, who are you talking to?
Yeah, but
I never- why?
Why?
I don't know.
There's no story
I
behind
never
it.
understood it.
No, someone sent the fish head hat in. I can't remember. Do you know what? I can't remember anything. I don't remember anything. So why are you asking me? Ask Helen. If you ever want to know anything, ask Helen. Now,
Did you get fish head, Helen?
Well, I just got it for exactly that. Oi, fish head.
that was it.
He
See,
had a fish.
I
He had a
think it
fish
was-
on his
I
head.
think it was Aldo, Mark Aldridge. I came out and he used to shout a lot, didn't he? And he used to shout things. And he went, "Oi, fish head!" And I went, "Who? Me? Who are you talking to?" or something. That was it. And then it just lasted like sheep ups. They lasted for a long time as well. I don't know. People like returning things.
Sheep ups was fantastic though. That was,
great
that was a good skill.
Great skills
But
for the Sheephead. Now we got to get into our we got to get into our Fs.
My favourite one so far.
We got to get to our Fs before we run out, because last week we ran out, didn't we? Last week was terrible.
Yeah, and I
our
don't need
Es.
to run out.
Your E was
Yeah,
awful.
you need to leave early.
All our E's were pretty awful last week.
Well,
So we
experiences.
we've got to step up.
Right.
Tubes is wearing the crown, and I just don't know why you're wearing the
'Cause I
crown.
won last
oh,
week.
it was just rubbish.
It wasn't experience.
No one should have won. But I've got a feeling.
Don't be so hard.
I've got a feeling this week it's going to be better.
Okay.
You wear the crown, so you go first.
Right.
What is your F?
Okay, I changed late doors. I want to discuss false number 9.
Oh, he's done it. He's brilliant. He's back. He's back. He's back.
Woke nonsense. What actually?
Yeah, it was
Woke
nonsense.
it's woke nonsense.
It's like
yeah.
Okay.
right.
What's it
How
mean?
do you define it? Well, I've looked on the internet.
Yeah.
And it says it's a centre forward that drops off and creates space. So, but that doesn't tell me anything. You're either a 9 or a 10. They're saying Lionel Messi played as a false 9.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
I think what it is it's if you're really good.
Famous false
He's
nine.
not false 9 though.
What it is it's the manager going, right, you're up front, but just do what you want. It's that, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
better than everyone else.
Well,
Just do
who,
what you like.
who would you say are famous false nines?
I'd say Dennis Bergkamp. Because
Right.
he holds
See, there's
Yeah, but he
Oh,
wasn't
that's
known
not
as a
an
false
argument
9.
of
though,
whether
was he?
he was a classic 10 because he always linked up with Henri.
All right, so who's a false 9 then?
Just Messi, I think.
But Messi's not. He's a 10.
Was it you, Johan Cruyff, who said football's just a simple game that people try and make difficult?
Yeah.
And I think that's it. You know.
He's the one doing fancy turns. He can talk.
Oh yeah, he did. He invented
worse.
skill. Before Johan Cruyff, no one had ever seen any skill on a
No.
football pitch.
But is a false 9 someone who's not going to guarantee you 15, 20 goals a season?
I think it's someone who's
And
so
then
good
says,
they can do
"Oh,
what
it's
they want.
Chips in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they say Havertz, oh, he's a
Do
false,
what you
he's
want.
a false 9.
Yeah.
Oh, what does
Yeah,
that mean?
just a few assists, a few through balls, chip in the odd goal. Do what you want.
Van Dijk said Firmino was the best false 9. The thing I don't understand about a lot of false 9s wear the 10 shirt. So what
Yeah.
why are they called a false 9 if they're wearing 10?
Maybe
Which is a striker that drops.
maybe it's
yeah.
a way for a pundit to justify their salary, because by saying things like that, then people feel well, they're pretty
Maybe it's
knowledgeable on
just
the game.
maybe it's just an easy term for someone to use. You can't be bothered doing the big explanation of it. Just call them a false 9.
Okay, that's the first one.
Yeah.
That's good. Who should we go on to next? Let's go to Robbie because he's got to run off. But
Okay, I've gone for free kicks.
wow, that's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea how that sentence was going to go.
Every
during
football
it.
match has them.
Yeah.
Does, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the most exciting things, because penalties, you think, oh, you're going to score. Free kicks, like a direct free kick, brilliant.
Trent the other day, his free
Trent,
kick
yeah.
That
was
was a
great.
good one.
Really good.
And even better, that Jack Grealish said, I'll give you 500 quid if you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Love
And then Jack
Grealish.
went on telly and admitted it. It was brilliant. Jack Grealish doing that to me is fantastic. That's what I want out of my ballers.
What's been the most exciting free kick of our lifetime?
Beckham.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah.
you can't be
So
Beckham,
that's
Greece.
it's
Against
the first
Greece,
one that,
I didn't
yeah.
see that live. I was on my way up to Hampden.
to qualify us.
You didn't see it?
No.
No.
That's right. I've seen it since.
Can I say one thing? I literally, was talking about free kicks. This reminded me. We once went down to do a You Know the Drill at Southampton,
Yeah.
and then James Ward-Prowse was doing it, yeah. And at the end, he did a thing with Jimmy Bullard, like a free kick clinic, and then they went head to head. Oh, I could not believe every single one he did was exactly the same pace, exactly the same flight, and exactly the same position. It was like a robot just going.
That's good.
And then Kieran Trippier did the same when he came on live. They are different levels. The same run up, and it's just literally the same.
Have you got some stats?
I've got a quiz for you. I've got here the top 10 free kick scorers of all time.
All
What
time.
is this how many they've scored?
How many they've scored?
Okay.
Top level players.
All right.
So I want to know.
Hang
so
on.
You can name.
In the world, or
Very hard to tell because I didn't do the research. So you have to take that with the
are you saying it's
producers.
made up?
I'm saying the producers have done it, and I don't know what the criteria they've done. But
Right,
I'm
okay.
going to take. I was going to take the credit for it.
Number
but now
one-
I've had
no-
to own up.
Number one is Messi.
He's in the top. He's number 5 with 66.
5. Okay. Number one is
fact,
Roberto.
he's- no, do you know
Roberto
what?
Carlos.
joined-
Carlos.
He's joint third because 3 of them are on 66. Carlos not in there. No.
Wow.
Go on,
Ronaldinho.
So Ronaldinho.
Yes, he's joint with Messi.
Beckham.
He's just behind Messi with 65.
Stuart Pearce.
No.
No.
Who is it then? Go on.
I'll give you the number 10, Ronald Koeman.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Number 9, Zico.
Yeah.
8, Diego Maradona.
Yeah.
Number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Number 6, David Beckham. Number 5, actually, joint third is Lionel Messi, Ronaldinho, and Victor Legrottigli.
Never heard of him.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I just looked him
wand
up.
of a left foot.
I just looked him up, and he died this year.
Oh,
So,
did he?
Sad to see.
R.I.P.
Number
Oh,
2,
R.I.P.
Pele.
Yeah. Heard of him.
No, he's called the Great Pele.
Okay. Number 2, the Great Pele.
Yeah.
And number 1, Juninho. But not the Borough one.
Oh.
The Leon,
not
the
the
Leon one.
All right. Okay.
Remember
You know who-
Chilavert, the goalie who used to take him?
Yeah. You
Jose Luis Chilavert.
And you know who did the best free kicks, by the way, is Letitia, didn't he? Because remember they used to knock the ball to him, he'd knock it up to himself and then
Yeah.
score.
JJ Kocher, League Cup against Villa on the outside of the wall.
fantastic colour.
Two absolutely fantastic Fs so far. But it's time for Stat Chat.
Ooh.
Got a couple here. Ben Elam says Huddersfield Town sold Dennis Law and used the money to buy floodlights.
Good
That's
start.
a good stat.
Have they still got him? Are they still working?
Ash
Well, no, they've got a
Hopper.
new stadium, haven't they?
Is that a stat or a fact?
It's a Stat Chat. Well, we're chatting about it, so it works. Ash Hopper said Ipswich Town have never lost a home European match and have beaten both Milan's and Barca and Real Madrid. That is Stat Chat. I've got so many people sending. Well, we have so many people sending in Stat Chats. Thank you very much. They are
Do we
brilliant.
get them cleared?
Are we doing any fact
Is
checking?
that- yeah.
We are indeed fact checking them.
Wow.
If
Yes.
it's a fact
Who-
check.
Yeah.
Who fact checks them?
The people in the back room, the back office, not me, but they are being
Ipswich
fact
have never lost a European home
fact
game.
checks. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to interrupt the show now because we've got a very special guest. He's actually sitting in his car waiting to take the world by storm by playing paddle. It is Joe Cole.
Yeah.
Joe, welcome to the show.
Oh, there it is.
There he is. He's got his
Yeah.
paddle bat out.
Hello, guys.
For Joe.
Hello, everyone.
Morning,
Hello.
Joe.
Is paddle replacing the buzzer football
Hello.
for you, Joe?
It's I love it. I love it. It's the competitiveness. Is Tubes? He's played golf with me. Like that's too slow. Golf's too slow. But this gives me a little bit of that competitiveness. Do you know what I mean?
Joe, do you also get the buzz doing the punditry? You're very good. We've noticed recently on TNT, you guys are stood in the tunnel before the game. Apart from the neck ache you get, where
Yeah.
we're crouchy, is it? Are you getting a buzz out of doing that?
I wouldn't say it's a buzz. It's lovely to be around football, and like you forget. Like we started going back in the tunnel, and just being in the tunnel again. Like 'cause you see the lads as they come off the coach, and you sometimes have a chat with them. But then when you're in the tunnel, and you see them lining up, that's when I get that little feeling. Oh, I wish I was back there because you can see their eyes change. Like must have happened to all of us. Like we're ready to go to battle. So it's nice to be around. I must admit, I do want to get into management at some point.
Joe, that was going to be my next question, pal. You really want to be a manager further down the line, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the sort of the media stuff sort of happened by accident, really. I finished playing, and I turned up, and they asked me to do. Well, Terry said, "Look, come and do a few of these gigs. Keep yourself sort of relevant." And whilst I was doing my coaching, because I finished my career as player assistant manager at the Rowdies, and then I just sort of went there, and I've just not left. They just kept asking me back. So the commentating and punditry was sort of it's by accident. My heart's into coaching and management, and watching all the lads do it. You're Franks, your Stevies, your Wayne Rooney's, Scotty Parkers. It does make me get a bit itchy for it as well.
But where would you want to go in? What level would you want to go in? Because there are obviously we see some top flight players who are happy to start lower down. But I'd imagine the skill level lower down would burn your brains.
Do you know what it is? The way, because I've had a right good look at how they've done, and some have done better than others, and some made mistakes. I don't think it's so much the level that's the problem. I mean, obviously, if you're at Champions League level as opposed to like the Conference League, there's going to be a difference in quality. But I think it's choosing the right job with the right owner, the right club, where you can sort of have control. So much of when I see managers making mistakes is where they haven't got complete control of what they're trying to do, and then it gets messy, and then they seem to let it run away with them. But I really ain't bothered. I mean, I'm going into a club soon. I don't want to say the club because it's not sorted yet. I'm just going to get my eye in, just getting back onto the grass, coaching. I'm doing some study visits coming up between now and the end of the season, and just see what happens. But I've been saying this for 18 months, and it seems nobody really. It's very difficult unless you sort of go into a club and they bring you up with them. Do you know what I mean? There's playing football. The wisdom of playing football seems to be it's the last thing on people's mind. They want to see you got coaching badges coming out your ears, and I've got most of my badges. I've got everything up to the pro license. But yeah, it's something I'd like to do.
But what kind of manager would you be, Joe? Given your sort of your flamboyant background on the pitch, would you say to your players, go out there and express yourself, or would you say, rein all that stuff in, lads?
Strictly Sam Allardyce. I have a vision on how I feel football should be played, and but that will change. That depends on what type of club. I think you've got to adjust. I think the best manager, like Jose, was the best alongside Carlo, and what Carlo was so smart. I mean, he's operating at the very, very top level, but he's adjusted. When he come into Chelsea, I remember, because you do your own work. When a new manager comes in, you ask people who've played for him, what's he like? How's his training like? So you get this picture of what he's doing, and he was very, very Italian in the methodology of how he set up his teams. And but when he come in, after he sort of let it all sort of happen, nothing really changed, and then he realised that the way that this club's set up and the way that all the Chelsea was developed, we're going to leave that. And we'd been 3 years without winning the league, and so like at the time for Chelsea that was like disaster, like that. Hence the reason they were changing. But he assessed it, and he completely changed. And I know that he's done that at other clubs he's gone to as well. So I think you need to be flexible.
Yeah.
And that's paid artists, and you see them, and they constantly like they're doing like they might go up a league, and they keep doing what they're doing, and they keep getting battered. I'm like, you're losing games of football. You have to adjust. You can keep your core things, but you need to be flexible. And the best manager, Carlo, is the most flexible manager. When he's Real Madrid and they all in great players on the pitch. When he plays Man City or Barcelona, they bank off, they drop off, and they catch him on a counter attack, and they beat him more often than they don't. And in other games, they might play completely different. I think Carlo's the smartest manager in the world.
And you know what we did at Chelsea? We sacked him. Hey, Joe, I know you've got to go and play paddle, but just a quick one.
I know.
Obviously, me and Tubes are Chelsea fans. Tubes and I are Chelsea fans. We enjoy watching the skillful players like yourself and Zola. Joe, how good is Cole Palmer?
I think he's a genius. There ain't many mistakes that Pep Guardiola makes, is there?
No.
Definitely made one there. Absolutely. He is such a good player, isn't he? Such a player. But I love him, and the fact that Chelsea got him on that could be the one thing that salvages this new regime, this new ownership group. That one signing, because he held it together last year, and now the team's looking great around him. I think he's that important to Chelsea. I think he'll go on to be a Chelsea great.
Me too.
And there'll be big clubs trying to sniff him out and trying to sign him, but we have to keep him.
Yeah. Joe, listen, thanks so much for joining us today. Best luck with your paddle. I hope you win.
I will win. Don't worry about that.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, Joe.
Thanks,
mate.
Cheers,
Top
Joe.
man. Helen, your F. There's two very good ones. What's your F?
Okay. My F, FA Cup.
She's gone and done it.
It's
FA
the
Cup.
magic
It's
of.
the magic, yes.
All right. But, normally I bring my letter and then I want you all involved. Today, keep out of it until I've finished, actually, because this is going to be a bit of a personal rant. I absolutely hate what the Champions League has done to the FA Cup. It used to be the full stop to the season. You had your end of season Saturday. The following weekend was your playoff finals, which were on Saturday, Sunday, bank holiday Monday. The Saturday after that, FA Cup final. When I was a kid, it didn't matter who you supported. You went round the playground saying, who do you want to win the FA Cup final? And the whole school would end up split into the two teams. And for that day, you were 100% a fan of the team that you wanted to win. The whole day was massive. Telly coverage started in the morning. We got to see footballers in silly hats. We got cameras on the coaches. After Christmas Day and my birthday, the FA Cup final, the third most exciting day of the year. The underdog stories that we've had. Wrexham beating Arsenal. Sheephead Dynamo qualifying for the first round proper. John Duncan losing his glasses when Chesterfield equalised in the last minute against Borough in the 97 semi-final. Newcastle trying to get the Stevenage fixture switched to their place and Stevenage Borough having none of it. A few years ago, the FA Cup final was played later on in the afternoon after Premier League game. Teams putting out kids or B-sides. Manchester United not bothering to enter it at all in the 99-2000 season because they were in some other tournament that they thought was more important than that. I hate it that the FA Cup is no longer the crown of English football.
Oh, yeah.
Can you have some rousing music on that? Who was doing the edit?
Put that crown on already, Helen.
Yeah.
Put
I
that
will go
crown on
to
already.
war for Helen after
Yeah,
that.
that's
How
unbelievable.
rousing.
That's great.
Put that on.
It's all to do.
My
It,
heart is banging.
Yeah.
as Helen mentioned, it is all to do with United, isn't it? When they pulled out of it, they killed it. That one year because they went, it's not important enough. Do you remember when they went off to play the World Club Cup or whatever it was called? No one cared about.
Yeah.
But they didn't just put a youth team in. They just pulled out of it totally, and that was the moment that everyone went, well, if United can pull out of it, it's not that important. I think that was the death of it.
Devalued it.
I think so.
It has been devalued over the years.
I think so.
Yeah,
remember-
and
I remember-
it's sad. It is really, really sad.
My last great FA Cup watching day was when I was at university, and I remember having lots of friends around. We were prepared for it, got papers to read in the morning, got food and drink and everything like that. Watched Soccer AM in the morning, then on to Football Focus, and then on.
Yeah.
You watched us before you did the show.
Yes, I liked this. I was a fan of the show.
Were you not there at the beginning?
This is like meeting my heroes.
Yeah.
Every day's a dream.
Were you not there at the beginning?
No,
Well, how many years in were you?
I wasn't there for Fishhead. I was there. I joined in 2000.
Yeah, I used to go around my uncle's house to watch Soccer because he told me about it. You got to watch this new show on Sky Sports.
How did you end up working with us then?
Work experience and never left.
He was there before me.
That's true, isn't it?
Martin Tyler said, I can get you a works week
How
experience.
do you know
'cause
Martin Tyler?
My mum used to teach his children at school. So I got
Oh,
a week
Amazing.
work experience. And
Wow.
when I came into the office and saw you, I was like, oh my God, this is the programme I've been watching with Uncle Steve.
Are you a nepo baby?
And then I just never left because I loved it so much.
Did you ever get offered a job, or are you still on work experience?
I worked for free for 4 years every Saturday.
Did
I
you?
couldn't believe it. I was like, footballers and all that. I was like, then they started wearing nappy. I was like, hang on. But no, he's the best there. Work experience, never left. Go on,
But
Helen.
on
sorry.
the flip side, for us, I remember the day when Martin Tyler came into the office because he wasn't often knocking about at Sky, and there was a buzz like Martin Tyler, and he walked past the Soccer AM crowd and went, "Pete, all right, Peter," and we all then went, "He knows tunes."
Connected.
But I always think with the people who came in at work experience, people like you, Rocket, Steve, those guys, when they came in, there was so much work to do that if you made yourself useful, then you were just basically going to hang around, weren't you? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because there was so many work experience who come in and they get to Friday afternoon and they go, "Do you mind if I go home? Because I've got a party to go to." Yeah, no, absolutely fine. Go home. Don't want to see you again.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
The ones that were good as well, they are far more successful than us now. They were all doing really well in the industry, yeah.
great.
Remember that, they'd always end up being our bosses in about two years.
Amazing F so far. I think it's probably going to get better now though because we move over to Joe.
Well, I can't really compete with Helen's FA Cup, can I? That
You can.
rousing,
You
tub
can.
thumping speech.
Yeah, it was.
Like Russell Crowe in Gladiator, wasn't it?
I'll take that.
Firstly, this isn't my real one. I'm just going to chuck in a quick one. Foul throws. everywhere now.
Oh,
They're an
that's
absolute
that's
scourge.
brilliant. What, you've got something better than foul
You
throws?
see him all the time, foul throws. Lifted his feet off. It's foul throw.
Yeah, but
They
does it
never get given, do they?
But does it matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Dark
but
arts of football. They're
Dark
wasting
arts of
time.
football. They're encroaching, aren't they?
Who was it? Who was it who wanted to invent kick-ins? Someone said, "Let's kick the
Well,
ball."
they do it in
in.
futsal, don't they? You just kick it in.
Arsene Wenger, he wanted to do it, kick-ins.
I'm quite up for that, to be honest.
Just
Yeah.
kick the ball in.
I'd like to see that trialled. I
But
think
then,
it'd be good.
what you would do is you get the teams without the as much skill, especially in FA Cups and things, just launching the ball long every time they get.
Could
there.
be good to watch.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Go on, Joe. What's your real one?
My real one is the Frank McAvennie Car Park.
He's done it. He's done it.
Oh, yeah.
The Frank
done it.
McAvennie Car Park.
Why? Because you used to. That's where you operated from. That was where your best material was.
me holiday home.
by the weather map.
Yeah. No, because it was originally named, wasn't it? Because Frank McAvennie, I can't remember what it was called beforehand, but Frank McAvennie came on, and for some reason, Fenner's, another F, was down on the deck doing some press ups or something, and Frank
Eastern
rodded
European
it.
substitutes.
Eastern European substitutes.
Yeah, they were.
Warm
great.
up.
Of which I was one.
That should have
And-
been
and
your
he-
E last week. That's
Should
a
have been
great
the
E.
Yeah, it should have
Eastern
been.
European subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
they
and Fennis were
killed it,
brilliant
wasn't
at that. Yeah, you'd have won easily.
Yeah.
Cup final day. Do you remember? I used to have to do it twice. It was the worst. Because when there was only one set of fans on, you'd do 60 seconds of warm ups, like proper
Burpees.
cardiovascular stuff. Horrible.
You were
You'd be
literally
absolutely
blowing,
knackered.
weren't
I
you?
don't- there
They
might be
put
some.
two teams on. You had to do it
Yeah,
twice.
there might be some people here who didn't watch Soccer Rem who are listening to this. What was Eastern European warm-ups? How would you explain that to someone?
Well, we used to wear these red tracksuits.
Yeah,
Tight
Wigs.
fitting red tracksuits
Yeah.
with two white stripes with TCCP
yeah,
on across the front,
Blonde wigs.
and these
wig.
blonde wigs.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we were just like, we used to do these like weird kind of jump up and down
It
kind
was
of.
because we used to watch European football,
Yeah.
and then you would always see the
They'd be
subs
warming
doing-
up the subs in
doing-
these tracksuits on the touchline.
crap things. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Frank McAvennie. Why was it named Frank
So,
McAvennie? I
yeah,
don't
so
remember.
Fennis was on the deck doing some press ups or something, and Frank, this ball just ran to Frank, and he caught it so sweet, and he just rodded it right into Fennis's hooter, and he was down for like, there must have been about 8 minutes added on after that, and he was in some agony, wasn't he? But no, that's how the car park got the name.
That's
but I
good.
used to do the topless weather out
Do you
there.
know why you
I
did
mean-
topless weather?
He's got a great bod.
Yeah, well, there's
Yeah,
that.
still have.
There's
Still
that.
have.
Still has.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was because there was so many. We were trying to take the mickey out of lad culture a bit on the show. And there was a thing happening called live TV, and they were doing topless weather, topless darts, wasn't it?
Darts.
Topless
Yeah.
darts.
They did as
They
well,
were
yeah.
doing all these sort of really random things, and all these places had women topless everywhere. And I thought what would be really funny is if we say we've got topless weather. I think we trailed it a couple of times, and then we threw out, and it's a man with his shirt off. It made me laugh, but it was supposed to last a week. How many years did you do it for?
About 7, rain or shine.
Back inside
Light drizzle.
Down
back
south.
inside Mr. and Mrs. Lovejoy.
Right, drizzle. But do you remember? There's another little one. You used to call me Sheep's Head, didn't you? Rather than Sheephead,
Yeah.
Sheep's Head.
Yeah.
And me and you went to a house party once, didn't
Yeah,
we?
yeah, we
In Tooting or somewhere like
Yep.
that. And there was a big queue for the toilet,
Yes.
single toilet house, wasn't it?
Yep.
Big queue. So there was a sink
Yes,
somewhere.
I remember. Yes, I
Yeah.
remember.
So
Oh no.
well, it's a house party, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but boys are gross.
And there was a Japanese girl, wasn't she? And
It was, yeah. It was her.
stuck her, it was her
Her
house.
house, yeah.
And she looked in, stuck her head through the door, and she said, "Oh no, Sheephead do we in sink."
No, she came down and said that to me. Sheephead do we in sink.
Yeah, so that's how I became.
She told me off for you
Yeah.
weeing in a sink.
Yeah, so that's why
Oh,
I had.
so you-
That's why I had a sink.
So you weren't sheephead until she said that.
Yeah, she.
Or were you already sheephead?
Yeah, well,
She's
no, I was
met-
sheep's
Ah,
head.
that's where sheephead.
And then that's why I
Sheephead.
became Sheephead, and that's why I had a sink next to the weather mat, just in case I got
I didn't
caught
know
short.
that.
I
Yeah.
completely forgot you had a sink as
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense now.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Just
That
in
is-
case I got caught short doing the topless weather.
That is absolutely wonderful. Right, I'm the last with my Fs. I'm never going to win this because all of these are brilliant. My F is, I'm going to do a sort of little quiz as well. I think you'll get some of these. Is firsts. So I thought I would do some firsts in football for you.
like it.
Okay, so
Production.
first red card. When did we see the first red card, and who was it? See, this is too hard because it's in a World Cup.
1970.
1974, and it was Carlos.
Really?
It was a Chile player called Carlos Caselli.
Did he deserve it?
It was.
Was it a straight red or 2 yellows?
Do you know? I don't know that, but it was.
Boo, you've lost.
I know. The referees before that would just send the players off, but then they got the red card. That was when they first got the red card out and did that. First champions of England were. There was football, by the way.
Preston
before.
North End.
There was.
Preston
yes.
North End. Yes.
We all know this one. The first substitute was
Gavin Peacock's dad.
correct. Who is?
Captain Peacock. I thought you'd been served.
It's Keith Peacock.
Trevor
Keith Peacock.
Charlton
Of course it
Athletic,
was.
1965. He was a substitute in the Football League when he replaced injured goalkeeper Mick Rose after 11 minutes of an away match against Bolton Wanderers. The Wanderers.
Super white.
First team with no English players was
It was
Chelsea.
Liverpool, wasn't
Liverpool
it?
86.
Liverpool 86. Grobler, Nicol, Lawrenson, Hanson, Beglin, Johnston, Mulby, MacDonald, Whelan, Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush. First English club to field a team made of entirely of overseas players.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea in, what year was that?
I've no idea.
99. It's Vialli team, that was. Had your likes of, shall I go through the team? Ed De Hoy, Albert Ferrer, Emerson Tome, Frank Leboeuf, Celestine Babiero, Dan Petrescu, Gus Poyet, Didier Deschamps, Robbie Di Matteo, Gabriel Ambrossotti, and Tor Andre Flo up front. First Premier League goal.
Brian Dean.
Brian Dean. It was Brian Dean.
Sheffield United. First Premier League red card.
Vinnie Jones.
Brian McAllister.
Brian McAllister.
Yeah, for Wimbledon v Spurs, 93. First Premier League champions.
First Premier League champions. Manchester United, wasn't it?
And finally, first Premier League goalkeeper. Goal.
First, you just asked us that.
First Premier League goalkeeper goal.
Oh,
Oh,
You don't
what?
see these
I
anymore.
remember-
Paul Robinson.
I remember Peter Schmeichel scoring at
Peter
Wimbledon.
Schmeichel, you've got it. Peter Schmeichel v Villa. And because
Oh,
you're never going to see a keeper score again, are you? Because they don't kick the ball anymore.
No.
So they're going to roll it out. So you're not going to see it unless they come up for a corner, I suppose. Then
Don't catch the ball anymore, do they?
No.
Just palm it out.
Punch,
yeah.
Or palm it out. Just catch the bloody thing.
I think that F's really, really good because it's brought everyone into it and the listeners.
God, it's going to be a tough choice, isn't it, for Helen? Robbie, are you all right just to hang on to a little
Yeah,
while?
a couple more
'cause
minutes.
he's got to go. He's got to get a train. I'll quickly do Wokes, then we can do What's Wrong with Football. Wokes, this is where we're finding all the woke stuff, which is hitting football. It does amuse me. Andy Cummingham says, short corners, just get it in there. Woke
Yeah.
nonsense. Short
Yeah,
corners, woke
absolutely.
nonsense.
I agree.
This is my favourite of the week. Graham Frad says, the walkout, line up and shaking of hands before every game. It's seeped into grassroots football now. Does it really? Can you imagine that? Going to play
Seriously,
Sunday
yeah.
League and they're lining up.
Play the Champions League music with little kids.
But he's my favourite thing is his comment at the end. Bring back the run, the little fake header jump when they reach the pitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Bring back-
Cigarette in the
yeah,
tunnel, do
yeah,
that. Off
exactly.
you go.
Bring back the bog roll.
Yeah.
And Gaz has also spotted some woke nonsense. Goalkeepers passing the ball out like an outfield player. Just welly it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Woke
there you go.
That, all of that is woke nonsense.
All of
Yeah.
that is woke nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Helen, do you want to do your What's Wrong with Footballs?
John 1975 says haircuts. But it says, see Anthony Gordon and James Madison at present.
They both got a sort of little mullety thing, haven't they? Shaved around the sides,
Yeah,
along at
cut
the back.
into the
Do you
side,
know
yeah.
what? I like
Yeah,
both
but-
their haircuts. I love a footballer haircut. I think.
Yeah, footballers have always been at the forefront of haircuts, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure they're at the
What was that?
forefront of it.
Well, they have. It's sort of what
No,
they have,
they've
others
just-
follow, don't they?
No, they. Well, nah.
You think of Ronaldo's one, Helen? Yeah.
You know
Ronaldo, yeah.
what I'm doing.
Just your finger on her forehead. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Just
That's
doing the little,
probably the worst
the
haircut I've
little-
ever seen.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I know that was visual. But
yeah.
yeah, no.
I can't think of a worse
was.
haircut I've ever seen anywhere in the world.
Wonder what went through his mind when he did that haircut.
I'm
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo. I can do what I want.
anything.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. What about Zizou walking around with a sort of like, rather than just shave it, because he looks brilliant now, doesn't he? But at the time, he just sort of had his bald patch. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and he just kept. Bobby Charlton. My
Yeah.
God, he used to play with his hair hanging down, didn't he? Bobby?
Home
Yeah.
over, yeah.
Do you think he thought no
Yeah.
one knew? Fooled them again.
Ooh, no one's mentioned it.
The great fact about Bobby Charlton, when someone asked him once if he was left or right footed, he said, I don't know. I can't remember. I just thought that was so class. Helen?
Brilliant. Erling Haaland, sorry, we can't talk about footballers' hair without somebody saying something about it.
One day,
I
one day he's going to come out with a shaved head or like a grade 2 buzz cut or something, and everyone go, "Oh, it looks great, doesn't he?"
pictures of him before when he had short hair, I risk of sounding like a really old woman. He looks so much better.
I like that. I like the fact that Beckham had his head shaved, and there was some hairdresser who said, "Yeah, that was me. I take credit for that." It's like it's the easiest haircut in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I could do that.
I could be a
Probably-
top hairdresser.
Probably the credit for talking him into it.
Yeah, maybe.
Go on.
He did have some good
it
haircuts,
all
didn't
off.
he?
Yeah.
I'd love to have seen
Did,
Fergie's
yeah.
face when he turned up with his Mohican. I'd have loved to.
The
have seen-
cornrows.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did have some good haircuts.
Yeah.
Ant P704, multi-millionaire footballers complaining about having to play too many matches. I don't like putting the money in with the having to play too many matches as well, because I think if there are too many matches, there are too many matches. It doesn't matter how much you earn, because there are footballers who don't earn that.
But I think they've got a point.
Many matches.
They have got a point.
I think they've got a point. You know, this Club World Cup that's coming up next summer, and was it De Bruyne who's having a moan about it, saying what another tournament we've got to play in?
But don't moan
They-
to us, moan to your employers, because it's the clubs who want it, isn't it? They want to play as many games as possible.
Yeah, but if you're absolutely knackered, you're not giving your all for the product, are you? Sort of, you're just phoning it in a little bit.
I think there is too many things like we were talking about the Nations League.
And it also makes it
yeah.
hard. It also brings money more into it, because then the clubs with more money can have bigger squads.
Yeah.
It makes it more unfair.
I know, it's not what this pod is about, but I do think there are too many games. And
Yeah.
I think that was going to lead to injuries and then less the standard of football.
Mm.
That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's oversaturation, isn't it?
That's what Brian
Football
Clough
will
said.
eat itself.
That's what Brian Clough said years ago. Too many games on TV, they'll never come and watch. It's got more and more popular ever since.
And that was in the 70s,
yeah, 80s.
80s.
More H22 plastic football boots.
Oh, I remember when they came, Nike Skin. Do you remember when they arrived in the Soccer M office? Oh, I just thought they were amazing.
Got all the different colours and all the
Yeah.
minging.
Oh,
I
remember.
love that Adidas World Cup.
No, I remember giving a pair of boots to Peter Osgood, Chelsea's Peter
Yeah,
Osgood,
legend.
Nike Skin, and he looked at them, and I was expecting him to be old school, and it's on Soccer M and go, oh, they're crap, I prefer leather ones.
He liked them.
He went, God, can you imagine how good I'd have been if I'd have played in these? And I thought that was such a
Wow.
great way of looking at it. He said, they're so light, they're amazing. And these days you don't need, as we've pointed out, because you're not really allowed to tackle, like you can't do a David Batty or a Graham Souness tackle anymore. So you don't need the shin pads as much, you don't need the thick boots as much, do you? Because no one's going anywhere near your feet.
Yeah.
So I quite like the plastic boots.
You're all right. It's evolution, innit? You can't stand in the way of progress.
All right, you've
Some-
changed your tune.
Someone amongst
Wow.
us
I thought
Your
you'd be
entire
dead
thing is
against it.
changing,
Yeah.
standing in the way of progress.
Someone amongst us has to go because they've got to go off, and I think you're going to have to leave before Helen announces the winner.
Oh,
Not that you probably have to, but I think it's funny that you do.
someone text me.
I-
Can
I-
you get the hat shipped?
I've got to be honest with you. I really liked your F. Can't remember what it was, but I really liked
FA
it.
Cup.
Can't remember what it was.
Yours
No,
wasn't
no,
FA Cup.
that's
That's
that
memorable.
Free kicks.
I really like free kicks, but you're not going to win,
No.
Robbie.
No.
You're not
No,
gonna
fair
win.
enough.
See
So
ya.
listen,
See you
thanks,
later.
mate. Top
All
man.
right, see you, everyone. I'll be
See
back
ya.
after you've been pumped by Portugal.
Enjoy Scotland.
Enjoy it, mate.
Bye, Robbie.
All right, bring us back a souvenir. Bring us back. Find a good souvenir to bring back and show us. Helen, who's won then this week with the Fs?
Right, so Robbie had free kicks, you had firsts, Tubes had false nine, Joe did.
Frank McAvennie Car Park.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even write it down, did you?
No, because I thought I'd remember and I didn't.
No one
don't know why I
no one
bother.
did fox. Is it a fox on the football
it a
pitch?
fox?
Is it a fox?
Yeah, a daylight fox.
Apparently, yeah. Especially as the foxes have made their.
Yeah, daytime foxes are the worst.
Yeah.
Helen, please.
I mean-
Helen, please just give it to yourself. It was amazing. Your speech. And,
I think it's getting a bit boring. Just give it to someone.
Yeah, it's got to be you, Helen.
Joe.
Joe.
Joe for the
Great
Frank
memories.
McAvennie Car Park. Yeah,
And-
what's
and
good
we-
For a
memories.
day.
It was good memories.
And we found out why Sheephead was called Sheephead because somebody said sheep's head's done a wee in my sink.
Well done.
Put the crown on,
Well
Joe.
done. Well done.
That's the end of this show. We will be back on Friday with the Q&Q, which stands for questions and quiz. We will see you all then. And we'll come back next week where we'll do the letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We'll do G.
Let's do
yeah,
G.
G.
Yeah.
See you
G.
for G's next week.